Hey guys, thanks for watching part one. This is part two of why you should give me $1 billion. So why was I so driven to build Oscillate? I could see the future of music. I could see that place online for producers to collaborate didn't exist in like 2011. I'm like using Ableton. I'm like, this kind of sucks. I need to like learn some shit. Like, I wish I could go to Full Sail, but I can't afford it. What if I had a place online where I could like, collaborate with other people and like it would be like GitHub, but for music. And I could see the direction that music would take once producers worked with AI algorithms. I mean, that's pretty visionary. And I'll get to these like visionary ideas in just a second. But there's gonna be like entirely new like music production techniques. And you see, like, once there's enough audio data in the cloud attached with the config files that produced it, you can use machine learning algorithms to work with software and hardware synthesizers in the cloud to produce new sounds and leverage the musicians on your platform to judge what sounds best. You can start doing a lot of like machine learning to like identify like, okay, like these sounds seem to be popular with certain musicians in certain genres, and these are the configuration parameters for like these synthesizers that created these sounds. And you can start understanding like, oh, like, well, the AI can like tweak these knobs. It doesn't make that much of a difference, but it changes the sound to like sound like this. And this actually might be like an intractable problem, and I certainly hope not. But I'm glad that like I don't know enough to know that it's not possible, because otherwise I would never try, right? So anyway, I'm trying to keep this as like an organized discussion. I'm kind of going off the rails a little bit, but so you asked me like what's an example of a novel music production technique of the future. How about like AI driven timbre impressionism? Okay, so you can use okay, so you can use algorithms to modulate controls for synthesizers to mimic natural sounds. So like entire genres of music will be developed from AI driven music, and this timbre impressionism is like incredibly powerful, and it might already be like in use to some degree today. But I mean, that could be like exponentiated with something like I wanted to build. And so these new genres will be developed until the genres of music are so complicated that they're really not definable anymore. And we're already kind of like there where it's like hard to like all the electronic music kind of like blurs together to the point where it's like hard to define it. But I'm saying like the timbres that are being used to for these sounds will be so alien that like they'll sound really cool, but like we won't like it'll be difficult for people to like categorize like, okay, this is a alien sex synth pad or something. I don't know. Yo, this is my alien sex synth pad, baby. That might have been a little bit gay. So anyway, back to like timbre impressionism. So basically, like you give the computer samples of something like waves in the ocean, or like a freight train braking, or other sounds from nature. Then you have a trained algorithm to like identify the means of producing sounds which are similar to those, and and you'll use like a similarity algorithm to like compare different sounds, and you'll also have those handy configuration files that created those sounds, so you know like what configuration parameters are similar, blah blah blah. And so you can have like the algorithm like try to imitate the natural sounds that you're inputting, and it'll try to identify a means of producing a sound that's like similar to that. But here's what's awesome: like at first, computers are gonna suck at doing that. But what's great is that you just listen to what your algorithm produces on different equipment, and maybe like 1 in 10 sounds that it produces will be any good. But you'll just be able to pick out like, hey, like I really liked that sound. I think I could use it here, or there, or I can combine it with this other sound, or like I kind of like that sound, but it needs the filter adjusted, or whatever. And so your algorithm will like use like MIDI sysex to interface with like hardware and software synthesizers in the cloud. Remember that timeshare that I was talking about? That's part of the monetization. Anyway, but you got like fucking Moog rack mounts in the cloud generating these sounds, and so you're just like you're utilizing this algorithm to help like produce sounds and imitate like natural sounds and like artificial man-made sounds, and it just like there's so much you can do with timbre, and it'll be amazing to see how this plays out. But it's coming. So boom, AI driven timbre impressionism. It's a music production technique that my friends in the future told me about. Uh, so more audio ideas. Like I'm kind of tired of talking about like all that stuff that I tried to do for so many years, but nobody would listen to me. So I spent like 4 years thinking about this shit. Like, can you tell? And I never found one person who believed in me enough to like drop what they were doing to work with me. So what the fuck's up with that? And no offense to like people that I like propositioned, to work with me. You've got your reasons. It's not easy. It's not something that everyone wants to do. I don't understand why you don't want to do it. Because anyway, but I mean, people have obligations. People have things they want to do with their life, and a lot of people don't want to do this, and that's fine. That's respectable. Like do what you want. So Google Deep Dream, you remember that? I do. So basically, like it's like a neural network acid trip. So, but like, what if you like rewired Deep Dream's convolutional neural networks to work with like audio instead of images? So how does Google Deep Dream work? Well, it's been trained to recognize certain images, certain types of images, like cats, and then it tries to find those types of images in pictures and images that you feed in. Pictures and images can be like video, or it can be like a recursive thing, which looks pretty cool. And Deep Dream is distorting the original images to highlight which parts it thinks are cats and how. So it like distorts the part of the image that it thinks is a cat and tries to make it look like a cat. So instead, you feed this audio Deep Dream like audio samples, like types of audio samples. So like bass drums, or like waves in the ocean, or like footsteps, or like or human voices, or accents, or whatever, and then you feed in like streaming audio, and Google Deep Dream for audio would then distort the audio to conform it to the types of sounds that it thinks it's heard. So it's doing basically the same thing. So anyway, like I'm just a little bit passionate about audio. I mean, can you tell? I'm working on another audio startup. I don't know. I just like it. There's a lot of like math. I feel like there's a lot to be done with like machine learning and audio. Anyway, so that's cool, right? What will I think of next? Oh, I know. Oh. Google Deep Dream for 3D object recognition. What about that? That would be pretty cool. Like you would like feed it like I don't know, like types, like meshes for types of objects and like geometries, and then you would like stream in like stereoscopic video, or you'd stream in like mesh data, and it would be like, oh, I think I see a car, and and it would just like distort like the shape it thinks it sees, or the shape that it sees, like the mesh that it sees, into like a mesh that kind of like corresponds to the type of object that it thinks it sees. So yeah, from time to time, I just I just give away billions of dollars in ideas. Here you go. Here's my ideas. Just for fun. Might as well, right? Like I'm not doing shit with them. And I'm serious about that. I'm not like, and also it might sound kind of dumb for me to be like, here you go, here's billions of dollars in ideas. Like, one, they're not even worth that much money as an idea. Two, like, there's a lot of people already working on this stuff. I mean, like, but yeah, like Christopher Columbus used to have this like really cool like party trick where he'd just be like, and it's like squash an egg on the table and just like be like, bleh! Squash that egg and just like walk out of the room and like. And everybody would be like, what the fuck? That guy just walked in here and like squashed an egg on the fucking table, and like we don't even know like what he's doing, and he just left. He just like squashed the egg like right in the middle of the fucking table. He just walked out of here. What an asshole. Uh, yeah. Uh, but anyway, so but like, why do I do this? Well, I'm just like thinking like maybe, just maybe like I can help make the world a better place, because like I really can't like do all of this stuff. Like I've got like so many ideas, and a lot of people are probably working on them now. But if I just like give away some of the stuff that like maybe I don't have the technical capability to ever do anyways, then maybe someone else will is really passionate about that field, and they'll be able to make a difference in the world, and that person might be able to like take that idea, run with it, and create a revolutionary product that completely changes the world. And kind of like what I hope to prove is that like one person really can make a difference, even though that person probably shouldn't be me. But let's see if we can prove it, shall we? Can one person make a difference? And so I'm doing this mostly out of hope that I might be seen as someone who's like extremely creative, and I want to be given like the resources that I need to build at least some of this stuff. I mean, it's like so frustrating that like I can see all this stuff in my head, and I know that no one else is thinking about it. They're thinking about the world as it is, and not like as things could be, which is it's really difficult to do that. It's really difficult to detach from the way things are and to like to really understand how things are going to be. Um, but I feel like the world is just like telling me that like I'm not allowed to participate in this like upcoming wave of innovation. And like if you knew a little bit more about my restricted life situation, and like how I've been like fucked over pretty hard these past 4 years, and how I've been like moving all these places, and how I can't drive, and like I'm like unemployed. It's really hard for me to find a job, and then like even if I do like do it right and find like a job like in Roanoke and save up for a car, and then like move to a city where I don't need to drive, uh, like that's gonna take like 2 years. So basically, like all this innovation that I can see that's gonna happen, effectively, like I am not allowed to participate. And so like I have to like come up with some other way of getting there. And so like as someone who needs to like to be taken a little more seriously, in order to like position himself in such a way that allows him to you know innovate on like just like one or two of these ideas, then it's a little bit tragic for me to not be taken seriously. And again, like one thing I fear is being taken too seriously. Like it's like I'm not allowed to make a joke or something. And so I'm just not sure that like I want to be like viewed through such like a serious lens, but I know that like I want to be part of this like I want to be part of this wave of innovation. I think that like I've shown myself to be like creative enough, but I mean I've just kind of found myself like ignored and misunderstood. It's like hard for me to reach out on social media, yet because of like marijuana prohibition and the fact that I haven't really been driving lately. Like it's hard for me to like go places, to like connect with the people that I need to connect with. Like when I'm living in Roanoke and when I'm living in other places, like it's hard. Like I remember I had to go to like the mall to get like I bought like a surround sound system in Albany, and like I took the bus to the mall, and then I had to like take like a cab back home. Like it cost me like $40 to go to the mall. It's ridiculous. So, anyways, that's the end of this video. And in the next part, I'm going to include as many ideas as I can. I'm not going to be doing this again. I'm not going to be giving away a bunch of ideas again. So pay attention. So one, like a lot of this stuff is like really hard to think about on your own. Too, like there's probably like 80-90% of the stuff there's probably people already working on in some shape or form. But I do know that there's some stuff that other people haven't thought of. Um, and I'm a little bit hesitant to just like say, well, here's all my ideas, because now people can be like, well, that's not that big of a deal. Like they're just ideas. Who cares? Um, but at the same time, like a lot of people like just don't get it. They don't understand like why does this guy like why does he think so highly of himself if he hasn't really done anything? Uh, and they don't understand that I'm just like sitting on this stuff, and a lot of it really is revolutionary. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys. And I'm gonna sign off. See y'all next time. Hit that subscribe button. I don't actually make YouTube videos enough to know where it is. It's somewhere